Just a quick reminder that if you invested in Tesla, you're probably going to lose a lot of money. So, a lot of people in the comments to my previous video had mentioned the potential of the Optimus robot, and I will tell you why I think that is ridiculous. So, Musk claims, like many things, are ridiculous, and he says that this robot will make what Tesla worth $25 trillion dollars in the not too distant future. Well, $25 trillion dollars is about the entire GDP of the United States. So the claim that the market cap of one company could be worth that very soon based on this dubious robot is ridiculous. And I will show you why it's ridiculous. So right now we're looking at Open Insider, which shows purchases and sales by insiders of a company. And here you're looking at a company called Pure Cycle, which has a technology that recycles plastics. And if you look here, you will see that there are many purchases, no sales. So insiders are buying this, they're not selling it. So what does that tell you about what they think about the viability of the technology? Do you think that it means that they believe that it will work or that it believes that it will not work? So millions of dollars of purchases by insiders is a clear signal that they believe the company will do well and that this technology that they have is viable. So if Tesla, which claims that their robot will be online in the next 3 years, just like they claimed that self-driving taxis and full self-driving cars would be a year away, and they've been claiming that for 10 years, hasn't happened. But Tesla claims this will make the company worth $25 trillion dollars. So what are the insiders doing? If it's going to be worth 25 times the current price, are they buying? No, they're all selling. So this isn't one person. These are all different people. The CEO, the director, the CFO, another director, uh, SVP automotive, all these names, and they are selling tens of millions. If you add it together, we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars of Tesla stock. And if they believed that Tesla would produce this viable robot that would make this company worth 25 trillion, and if they believed that Elon was telling you the truth, they would be buying, they would not be selling. Or at the very least, they would be holding, but they are not. They are not buying, they are not holding, they are selling. So, what does that tell you about what the insiders who actually work there think about whether this Optimus product will be a future moneymaker? And not saying Elon is not a bright guy. You can be a bright guy and still be a scammer. And an example of that is Ivar Kruger, who was the Match King of Sweden. And he was a great businessman. He was overloaded with debt, and he was also a bit of a scammer. So he started a couple of companies that are still around today, including Swedish Match, which owns Zen, which are the pouches everyone uses, and Vodafone. And he had construction and a bunch of other companies. And he was a match monopolist, and he was loaded up with debt. He was also a scammer, and he died in his companies imploded, and debtors took over his company, and the shareholders got wiped out. And that's why I would not invest in Tesla because I don't want to be like the people who had invested with Ivar Kruger and lost everything. But if you do invest with Tesla and you make money, good. I don't want anyone to lose money, but it's not for me, and I'm just telling you why. So if you want to hate me in the comments, that's fine. Every hate comment actually helps the algorithm. So knock yourself out. So I will show you in 5 minutes why the Tesla robot is BS, in my opinion. Here is an example of a BS robot. And a BS robot is something that's intended to appeal to shareholders and not to do anything useful. So you can tell a BS robot because it has a face and moving eyes and usually fingers, like this one.
Roles rather than stealing jobs. Think of us as your new co-workers who don't drink all the coffee and never bring fish to microwave in the communal kitchen.
So how can you tell this is bullshit? Well, because eyes and a face and moving lips are a lot more expensive to produce than just having cameras 360 all around the robot. And there's no need to turn the head, there's no need to make the lips move. If all you wanted was a robot to do physical tasks like move things around And if you just wanted AI, you already have that with ChatGPT, Llama, and all these other LLMs. So why would you need it to look like a human? You're doing this because you want to attract investors or you want to fool investors, not because it does something useful. So what would a actual working robot that has a good shot of doing something useful look like? Well, it would look like
Real
this, what
thing.
Boston
And I'm not
Robotics.
sure if it's the coolest thing I've ever seen or if it's one of the scariest things I've ever seen.
I'll freeze it here. So this is Boston Robotics, and it's a company that's been making robots for 30 years. It's partly owned by Google. And as you can see, its head does not have a face, does not have lips, does not have eyes, does not turn side to side because it's completely unnecessary. The hardest part is making it walk and do things. And if you just wanted it to see what was around it, then you would just put cameras everywhere. It's a lot cheaper and easier. And if you notice the hands, they're not five fingers, four fingers and a thumb, because if you wanted to move boxes, that's completely unnecessary. It has these grippers, which help move boxes, and this is something that would be useful in uh, industrial manufacturing and things like that. So, completely different look and feel from the Tesla robot because this is an actual robot that actually works.
This is the Atlas robot by
And again, Boston Dynamics has been making robots for 30 years. Tesla just started getting into the game. And if you think within a couple of years they're going to pass some of the best scientists at Google who invested in this company and worked there, uh, with some sketchy tech. Could happen, but I'm not going to bet on it. Here's another
Currently at
robot.
CES in Las Vegas, and I'm at the Hyundai booth. Check out their autonomous robot dog.
So this is the famous robot dog, and as you can see, it does not have eyes and a face that turns. It does not need fingers because for potential military applications, which is what this would be good for, what do you need? You need stability and you need something to grab things like bomb or open doors or whatever. So the form of the robot follows the purpose. It does not need fingers. It does not need a face. It does not talk because that's not what it's needed for. So the Tesla robot, uh, there's also, we'll watch this.
Cybercab looks amazing. I know. I'm trying to get a ride. Dude, me too. Elon. He's a techno kid. Optimus can talk?
Yeah. He also does sign language.
Hey, Optimus, what's up? How's it going, man? Going to party?
So do you believe that is actually a robot or that is an engineer manipulating the robot and making it say what he wants to say? There are several clips of people interacting with these robots, and they seem to have different voices and different reactions. And it's pretty clear that they are people manipulating these robots. So, as I said, this is something that's intended to appeal to investors to pump up the stock price and not to perform actual functions. And, as I said, you can tell it's got fingers. There's no need for it to have fingers. It's got a head that turns side to side. Why do you need a head that turns side to side when you can just mount cameras? It's a lot easier than, the gears and gyros and everything like that for the neck. So this is something that's meant to appeal to shareholders and not to real users. And if you think this is the first example of something like this, you would be wrong. So Amazon had the self-checkout stores where they claimed that AI could recognize the things you put in your cart and automatically look up the price and charge you for it. And then you would leave the store, but you never saw that concept store spread, and they actually shut down the existing ones because it turned out that the AI was not that good. And what was actually looking at the products you were putting in your cart and uh, coming up with the prices were workers in India who were doing this remote. And it just wanted to seem like it was the technology doing this. And this is a version of what Tesla is doing. They are having humans interact and move the robot and make you think that the robot is doing itself. This is what's called a mechanical Turk. It's not the first one that did this. Mechanical Turk was something in the 1800s or early 1900s, I believe, that was a machine that looked like it could play chess and it would move the pieces on the board. And people were amazed that this robot could move chess pieces and beat people at chess, but there was actually a midget inside who was really good at chess and he would move the pieces. And so this is a version of the Mechanical Turk. And I will not invest in Tesla. And if you want to invest in Tesla with your money, go right ahead. I don't care. It's not my money. But I just figured I would give you a glimpse of why I think this is ridiculous. And extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof. And I would like to see some proof that this is actually a working robot and that he can get it produced for $30,000 as he claims. And he says eventually he'll be getting it down to $10,000. And if you can't buy a car for $10,000 and cars use technologies that have been around for over 100 years, and you think with the most advanced technology available, you're going to be able to make robots for $10,000, I think that is ridiculous, especially if you think it's going to happen in the next 2 to 3 years. That's just my take. Anyway, I'm actually on vacation now. I'm in New York, and the only reason I'm shooting this video is I'm going to practice my editing. So I've done 50 videos and I have 284 subscribers. That's not a lot, but I think if I get better at editing, then think that number might go up. And so this is my first attempt at using my new editing software, and we'll see how that goes. So again, this is not investment advice. I'm not your investment advisor. I'm not telling you to buy or sell. I just look at my process and I looked at Tesla and I think it's a joke. 189 times earnings, 185 times earnings for a company that is shrinking, for a company where the main product is cars and cars are going down because of the actions of the chairman. They're down a lot in California, something like 30%. One of their main markets in Germany, EV sales went up 50% year over year in Germany, but Tesla sales are down 60% in Germany, and in Spain, they're down 75%. They're down in every major European country, which was supposed to be a growth market for them. And so you're paying 185 times earnings for a company that is going down in sales. A lot of people mentioned in the comments the solar panels and yada yada. I know a lot of people with solar on the roof. I don't know anyone that has Tesla. I have a friend who is involved in installing them, and he uses Enphase. He does not use Tesla. So if you think that this robot is ever going to come around, or if you think that the solar stuff is going to make up for all the losses in car sales, think again. Uh, that's just my thought, but you do you. Anyway, have a great day, everyone. I'm enjoying reading your comments, even the hateful ones, and I'll do another video later where I reply to them. And I will do an actual video where I talk about the stocks that I like very soon. So I'm looking at a couple now, one called Vertra, which does the police training simulations where you fire the gun and you see the screens 300 degrees around you. I'm looking at another one called Optics, which does military optics for the Bradley fighting vehicle, and I'm going to do one on Venture Global, which is a liquefied natural gas producer that is building LNG terminals to export natural gas, and it looks very interesting. So there's a few that I have in the pipe, and will be coming out soon. So stay tuned, and you don't have to like, you don't have to subscribe. I'm doing this for my own enjoyment. But yeah, see you guys soon.